somebody's telling me, hey, we should talk about 10th anniversary of Amaryllis. And I'm like, that's not 10 years old. That's only 3, 4. Oh, geez, it's 10 years
old. Oh, no,
old.
it's, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the most obvious question, but does it seem like 10 years?
That one kind of does
in
a very interesting way. That record was so, man, that album, you got to remember, the first 2 records, Leave a Whisper, Us and Them, and then The Sound of Madness came. And it completely changed everything. You know, I remember a lot of people when The Sound of Madness, before it came out, they were just like, I don't know if this band's going to make it. I don't know what's going on here, this and that and the other. A lot of obstacles. And, you know, Sound of Madness, 37 months, man, toured it for 37 months, did over 444 shows. Album completely opened up a different world for us. But then what happened was went into the studio and we were very, very specific with each other. Once again, working with Rob Cavallo on that album as well. Rob Cavallo came in on Sound of Madness. And that record was like a whirlwind too, because it took a while to make it, but we called that record The Kitchen Sink, because we threw everything at it. We threw everything in the kitchen sink at it. You know, it was like that album is really cinematic. And that album has got massive, massive production on purpose, because that's what we wanted. And I listen back to that record now, and I actually can hear the joy in making it. Because, you know, there's a lot of effort that went into that record. But also, too, when that record came out, you know, we debuted that record in Billboard. We were number 4 out of the top 5. And the top 5 was Adele. No. It was Madonna, Adele, Lionel Richie, and then us. And I just remember being like, this is insane. Like, you know, and, you know, there were a lot of people, though, too, that they thought to themselves, I think, like, how are you going to top Sound of Madness? Well, we're not. Like, Sound of Madness is its own record, just like Leave a Whisper is its own record, just like Us and Them is, and, you know, Threat to Survival, Attention, you know, all that. Like, you're never going to, like, you're not topping the records that you've already done. Those records are a snapshot in time for that artist. And I've always said, like, Amaryllis was a bridge record into, I think, proving more than anything that we do know what we're doing. We do know what's best for the band. And there was a massive amount of longevity that, you know, by the time Amaryllis came out, we were also trying to find out in ourselves if we could go to those levels that we dreamed of going. You know, I lost 70 pounds because, you know, I remember making that record too. It was just like, I was the heaviest that I had ever been when we went in to start making that record. That was also the record that I stopped drinking and I stopped doing what I shouldn't have been doing. My son was born, you know, and he was, you know, such a huge part of my, you know, it is such a huge part of my life, because he was born during Sound of Madness, but he was growing up during Amaryllis. And just watching him grow up and all those things, like when I learned how to start eating right, when I got in shape and I started learning all these different things about myself that I didn't think I was capable of doing, and I found out I was much stronger than I thought I was. That record is that's what I'm reminded of at that time with that record. That record holds a very special place in my heart, but it does feel like 10 years. It kind of does.